Yes, good to see you as well.
You say you want to move in with Dr. Bati.
Yes, he said he'll adopt me as one of his children because he said the more the merrier, and also he enjoys paying tuition fees and I want to go back to school. So Dr. Bati adopt me.
You know I can say the real conversation here. If you want me to say it.
What's the real conversation?
No, you have microphone.
You have microphone.
I should say microphone.
I should say
you can say what you like.
I should say it is January. Move on. Oh yeah, that's what.
We have a lot to get through today. It was quite an active day on social media yesterday. So let's get started. Workers of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, supported by the Nigeria Labour Congress, on Monday picketed the National Industrial Court in Abuja as their total and indefinite strike entered a new phase over unresolved labour disputes. The protest followed a directive by the NLC backing the industrial action. The workers also used the protest to openly demand the removal of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, carrying placards with inscriptions such as "Wike must go," "Abuja no be rivers," "Pay promotion arrears." The protest initially began at the National Industrial Court, where the protesters were seen cheering the arrival of Femi Falana, SAN, at the court. However, it took a heated turn when the protesters made their way to the FCTA Secretariat, and one of them claimed to have sighted the minister allegedly attempting to leave. So here is what transpired.
See him sneaking out. See him sneaking out. See Wike sneaking out. See Wike running. See him running. See him running. Wike is running. Catch him. Catch him. Catch him. Catch him. Catch him.
A landlord of FCT that is using backdoor to run. We have identified the landlord that is using backdoor to run. We have seen him with our eyes. He's not a genuine landlord that is using backdoor to run. Yes. We are FCT. We chase our landlord.
All right, well, this morning we were able to reach out to the minister's team. We spoke to Mr. Lere Olayinka, who confirmed that, yes, that was Minister Nyesom Wike in that car. Because if you look at the videos, it's not easy to really identify who the car belonged to. However, he said that the minister was not running away from anything, but that the entrance of the secretariat had been barricaded by the protesters. And instead of issuing an instruction to the security to clear those protesters, he instead chose to use a different exit from the Ministry of Agriculture so that he could make his way to the airport where he was supposed to see the president off, just to balance the story. Meanwhile, in River State, loyalists of the FCT minister have won the APC primaries for Ahoada East Constituency 2 and Khana Constituency 2 by-elections. Senator Magnus Abe spoke after the victory, declaring that the FCT minister Nyesom Wike is the leader of the Renewed Hope family in River State.
The minister of the FCT is the leader of the Renewed Hope family in River State. There is no confusion and there is no disputes about the different roles that people are playing. So that's what I want to say to Rivers people. Everybody go and revalidate your membership. We're all working together. We're all supporting President Tinubu. And Rivers State will deliver the highest percentage of votes for the Renewed Hope family in this country. That's our commitment.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Well, there we have it. Developments yesterday in the FCT and in River State as well. Ayo, let me begin with you this morning, where we saw those scenes. And this is the second time we're seeing something of this nature, but with a different minister. If you remember, the Minister of Finance, yes. Minister of State for Finance, was reported to have also been barricaded by protesters.
Well.
Yes. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of protesting action targeted towards ministers.
Okay, so it's the era of discontent, especially with regards to the FCT minister. No, not just in the FCT, but even in River State, in certain quarters. So it's not very good times for him, at least in that regard, with regards to his popularity among certain groups of people. He's broken it down. He instituted a legal action again. So there's been a disagreement, as I put it mildly, between he and the workers in the FCT. Some people have accused him of being high-handed. Some people have said that there are certain issues around contracts that are high-handed, and so they have come out as a people to protest. Even though he says he wasn't running away, the truth is that I don't agree that there should be any sort of violence to his person. People can protest peacefully as they have a right to. However, then we can then begin to look at the way and manner in which you lead. If you lead people who do not or who resist your leadership, then it questions the legitimacy around your position or the fact that people don't even want you in the position at all. Yes, we talked about how civil servants can frustrate the efforts of well-meaning ministers, as I cited in the case of Minister David Umahi, who had set a resumption time which the people didn't like, and they protested against him. But there are also cases where they have legitimate concerns around the way in which their work life is being handled or mishandled. In this case, has been accused by Minister Wike. And so the most important things at the end of the day, we often talk about dialogue, peaceful resolution, being able to come together with the people to ensure that whilst you're trying to enforce certain due process, you must also ensure that the people that you are leading feel like they have a leader who leads with heart and with a sense of humanity. That's the only thing, that's one thing I would say about that. Then with regards to what's happening in Rivers State, there's a conflict in the statements made by the camp of the APC. On one hand, they assert the fact that they are firmly behind Governor Fubara, and in many cases that the governor is the leader of the party in that state. And then we also have in other instances where people, individuals come out to say that, okay, it's Mr. Nyesom Wike who is the leader of Renewed Hope. I believe that this is now time for the APC to, like would be said on the streets, with their full chest, come out and put this matter to rest, so that Governor Fubara does not feel like an outsider, having decamped from the PDP to the APC, and possibly on the platform of assurances and reassurances to him with regards to his position in the APC. It has been made clear by the APC that he's the leader. That has to be sorted out so that we do not see political head butts in Rivers State.
And Dr. Batis, before you go ahead, I just want to add something.
The vagueness in your commentary on the Wike matter has to be clarified.
Okay.
And it is as follows. What are the facts of the matter? The FCTA and the FCDA, they are the two bodies responsible for the management of the Federal Capital Territory. The workers, now under the umbrella of a Joint Union Action Committee, also JUAC, are accusing the minister of not paying attention to their welfare and not paying attention to his duties in Abuja, and that most often than not, he has been absent on duty. Those were there. That's the basic thing for this. On January 7, they served a notice of strike action that if the minister does not concentrate on his main assignment, they will go on strike. It was for 7 days on January 7. Again, on January 16, they served another notice that they want a minister that should sit down and do his work. Now, before then, the House of Representatives had also met and said Abuja had become a very smelly Federal Capital Territory, garbage dumps everywhere, and that both the FCTA and the FCDA should concentrate on what their job is. Now, again, that was ignored. And it was on the basis of that the Joint Union Action Committee of the FCTA and the FCDA decided to go on strike and protest. So the video that I saw, whether the minister was going to the airport to go and see off the president, they were, if you played it properly, the thing was saying, see Wike running away. Only, catch him. That's what the, play the right video.
No, she did.
Okay.
No,
maybe it was technical problem. So that's what they are saying. So the whole issue is about responsibility. It's about leadership. It's about concentration. And you have a situation where these federal workers are saying that Abuja don't be Rivers. They are saying they want their minister to sit down and do the work. And then some of them in their placards even went ahead to say that the minister should be removed because he's distracted. Those are the issues, not all these general talk.
No, but Dr. Bati, it can also be argued. It can also, sorry, let me just say, it can also be argued that there are also machineries behind this protest. Because at the end of the day, if you had to do directly with their ability to discharge their duties, then it holds merit. But if it's not in terms of high-handedness of the way that
it was sponsored.
No, I'm saying in some quarters you can say that. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that in speaking for both sides of the party, you have to also say that when it comes to things like this.
What I've just stated are the facts of the case
So,
as reported.
Rufai, I know you want to, please, just very briefly so we can move on. I also want you to chime into this issue of 001, because some people are also saying that, is Abba Yusuf going to be 001 in Kano above Ganduje? Is that possible? So, Magnus Abe is saying Wike is 001. No, I know, I'm just saying the issue of 001, that in Rivers, Magnus Abe is saying Wike is 001.
Okay, so a couple of things. Yeah, Dr. Abati, you see, the thing is, two truths can exist. What you said is true, but what I also said is true. So there's no vagueness. I know so there's no vagueness about it. What you said is true. Yes, abdication of duty. I mean, we all saw it now when it was going across rivers and everywhere campaigning while workers were, complaining in Abuja and everything. We all saw the videos and shared the videos, how things are bad and everywhere is smelling and all of that. But what Ayo also said is true. And me, you might tag me not a fan of Wike. I commend Wike for what he did, the way he ran away today. You see, Dr. Abati, Wike could have used muscle and might. And while people created barricades there, they shoot tear gas and everything, and it becomes a brouhaha. And when it becomes a brouhaha, it's not what we are saying, we'll be saying. Yeah. It has happened many times in this country.
Correct.
But if he decided, like Lere confirmed, that he will go through the back and just peacefully move away, I commend him for that. Okay. That's also truth, and it can also exist because this case could have been worse than that.
All right.
Yes, and as regards the people that are shouting thief and everything, I mean, it's protest talk, but I don't think it's necessary. As regards the 001 issue.
Very quickly, please.
You see, it has now become political when people say 001. When you ask who said Wike is 001 in this regard, it's Magnus Abe, a Wike loyalist.
Yes.
So it's not an independent arbiter, like a party structure.
Are there any independent arbiters?
No. If he was a chairman of the party or anybody in APC, it's an independent. And Magnus Abe can, if he says that, the question is Wike a member of the APC? He's not a member of the APC. But on this one, Wike has scored a large point by ensuring that his loyalists get in there. As regards the Ganduje and the what is it called fight, that's a fight for another day. Let's not, let's not link it into that fight.
Okay, fine. Let's not link it into that fight.
Of the Federal Republic will call security agents to come and tear gas his staff.
Okay. Well,
whether you will be able to go to that same office the following day.
All right. There's a lot of debates that can be had here, but we have to move the conversation now to Anambra State. All right. So we're moving on now from the FCT. We focus now on Anambra State, where Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has ordered the closure of the Onitsha Main Market for 1 week following traders' failure to comply with the state government's directive to disregard the Monday sit-at-home order. The governor gave the directive on Monday during an on-site visit to the market, along with some of his aides and other government officials. Soludo warned that the closure could be extended if traders fail to comply with the directive, adding that security agencies have sealed the market to enforce the order.
This whole main market and all the adjoining these things will be locked down for the whole of this week. There will be no market anywhere here. Are you hearing me? Yes, each Monday will come and inspect. If people are not in their respective shops, it will be shut down again. I know that people have done this sit at home on Mondays for quite some time now. And as they say, an abomination that lasts a year becomes culture. No. This can no longer go on in Anambra. You either decide that you want to trade here or you can go elsewhere. This main market, if you don't want it open, I'll come and take bulldozer and level it. Are you hearing me? And I'm very, very serious about it. I'm not joking. Going forward, any Monday, any shop that is not open will be locked for 1 week.
All right, well, of course, there was a lot of reaction. Let's go to X, where Awujale tweeted and said, "On this one, Your Excellency, I stand with you. You cannot continue to hurt yourself in order to get back at your presumed enemies. That is the height of tomfoolery." Umenta also posted and said, "You are now sounding autocratic after winning second tenure. Some are willing to come Monday, but did you address the issue of their security? That soldiers you will use to enforce 1 week lockdown, use it for market security every Monday. Address their concern, not bullying them." And then lastly, the Litmus also posted on X and said, "Look at the markets in your state looking so awful. You're ordering closure for a week due to insecurity, but it needs to be closed to be worked on. Very disgraceful." A big mix of opinions. Rufai, I'll come to you on this. From implementation, is this the way to solve the problem? And even to some people saying that maybe we should be focusing on rehabilitating the markets and making them look more modern.
No, sir, I think the bone of contention is this, is the sit-at-home order. Governor Soludo, with due respect, you did something very wrong, and you are not realistic as a human being. Governor Soludo, these marketers, you think they don't love to trade on Mondays? You think they like to run away from their business? I have many people that have industries in Anambra. In fact, one of the oldest industries in this country, Kate Industries. And I was talking to somebody from there recently, and they were telling me how they've now shifted their structure of production in such a way that they don't produce on Monday. You think these people like to go away from the market, but they've been killed while they went to the markets and they try to ignore the sit-at-home. Where is the protection for their lives? Come on, so why are you talking like you don't live in Nigeria? In this same country where 177 people were kidnapped and the local government chairman was even begging them not to talk. You are telling people to go there and go to the market and be there because you said so. Which security are you providing for them? And you know the way these people behave. They just come out randomly and start to shoot sporadically. So except you, Governor Soludo, you are going to stay in the market with them for the duration of trade. Then you can tell them if they don't observe sit-at-home, you shut down their markets. If you are not going to stay there with them, leave them alone. You think they don't want to sell on Mondays, but you can't provide security for them. Because when it happens now, it's condolences you'll be writing. You tell your commissioner to write condolences. I condole with the people. In the Anambra, we'll fight insecurity. People will have been killed by that time. What are we telling ourselves? And please, you should reverse that order quickly.
Okay.
Is it that easy?
Lawmaker, who is the Commissioner of Information in Anambra State, issued a statement yesterday in which he said Anambra State every Monday loses about 8 billion and that the entire Southeast region loses about 19.6 billion because of this sit-at-home order, which traders respect. Now, my only concern is that if you now shut down the market, the Onitsha Main Market, from
for the whole week, Monday to Sunday,
till next week, Monday, February 2, then of course, if you calculate that, 8 billion per day, that would be a major loss. And the only ground in this regard is that the governor says they have refused to listen to the directive that markets should be opened on Mondays. Now, which takes us to the substantial point, which means that these traders, they are forced to sit at home because of threats.
Yeah.
It's not as if they themselves want to sit at home. Therefore, the responsibility for government is to make the environment safe enough for commerce, for entrepreneurship, so that people can move freely on Mondays and go to business. The third point is that these traders, either in Onitsha Main Market or in Ekulobia, they are not civil servants. They are private businessmen. So they can choose on their own to determine when they open their shops or do not open their shops. So the governor giving directives to entrepreneurs, to traders, will seem to look a bit untidy because they are not civil servants.
Absolutely. And now let's move to our next story. Ayo, I know you have some words to say, but let's bring in your comments after the following story. So let's turn to the highly sensitive and, of course, controversial selection process process for the next Awujale of Ijebuland, one of the most revered traditional stools in Yoruba land. Last week, the Ogun State government suspended the process following allegations of corruption, bribery, and a lack of transparency. Amid these developments, we know that Arise News spoke exclusively to one of the contenders, that's Prince Adebayo Kamal, who's the billionaire founder and CEO of Paperland Industries. And in the interview, Prince Abdul made detailed allegations of millions of naira paid, luxury vehicles donated, and influence traded in the race for the coveted stool. He says that he is speaking out as a whistleblower in the interest of transparency and tradition, calling for the Ogun State government to investigate. Now, since these revelations, a video has emerged of Ghana Must Go bags being delivered to the Afobajes alongside what appears to be a list of the shortlisted candidates. Here's the video. Well, of course, it's difficult for us to ascertain the contents of the bags or what was written on the pieces of paper. But Ayo, this adds more fuel to the stories emerging from this very, very hotly contested stool.
You know, I'm smiling. Of the three on the table, I'm the only
You're the neutral party.
You're the neutral party. We talked about this earlier. To my left, I had the Ijebuland. To my right, I had the Egbama.
I don't like
no, but it has a lot to say. But let me just quickly speak on this. From a neutral perspective, and just as a Nigerian. Like you mentioned, if you look at that video, there are a number of things that are questionable. The reason why is because when you see Ghana Must Go back traditionally in Nigeria, what comes to mind? It's the branding of the bag. You see Ghana Must Go carries what? Money. However, there's no proof empirically that it's money that was inside the Ghana Must Go bag. It could very well be clothes for charity. It could very well be papers for listing the family members in Fushegua. Anything could have been in the Ghana Must Go bag. So it would be remiss of me to now just conclude that because Ghana Must Go is synonymous with money in Nigeria, it is definitely money there. However, the accusations or allegations made by Prince Abdul, I want to act shocked, like, oh my goodness, why are we tainting such a process that ought to be, reverential in its state? But the truth is that this is a reflection of our society. How many positions have been gotten through payments or bribes or through inducements? In Nigeria, a lot of times is man no man, and it's quite unfortunate that it has now trickled to traditional institutions that ought to be, seen as, revered, is sacred. In fact, what they would say is the gods that choose. You consult, the gods to find out who would be. But we now see that there's a monetization and a politicization of the revered stool of the Awujale. Now, what we are asking for is that the governor, as he already suspended last week, institute a full investigation. If one of the contenders has come out very boldly to say that, to say that he's coming out as a whistleblower, that these and these are things that are happening. Some people have said it happens everywhere, but the fact that it happens everywhere should not justify that it's happening in this instance. And just for the preservation of culture and the younger people who are watching and who are looking ahead, there ought to be an investigation, and perhaps the process should be as I don't know how they're going to redeem what has already been tainted so far, but let's see an investigation and let's see what happens afterwards.
Let's hear from the Ijebuland before I intervene.
So, a couple of things.
Please, very quickly, because we have a lot of stories.
So I just want to set the record straight. While I was talking about the history of Ijebuland and Remo, I mean, I got a couple of messages. Some people took umbrage and all of that as regards when I was talking about Ijebuland dominance. But there's a 1937 Martindale Commission of Inquiry that talked about the fact that, yes, even if in the pre-colonial era, Ijebuland had a lot of dominance, but that changed in 1870 and it was just like a tutelar thing. People can read more about that, for the context of what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this, please, with due respect, I don't think the state government should even be the one to investigate. I think there are too many interested parties in this case of Awujale. And that's why I was calling on the EFCC the other time. I don't think the state government... Yeah, and probably DSS. I don't think the state government should be the one to investigate. I think the EFCC should be brought in because you want a level of clarity as regards this corruption allegation. That interview has tainted the process. It's already a shame and disgrace. Don't mind Dr. Abati. He's talking tongue-in-cheek. He's an Egba man. I know what he's doing.
That's why I went to Ayo, because I knew Ayo is neutral.
Don't predict what I will say.
I know what he's doing.
We really need to move on.
He says I shouldn't predict what he's saying. He's done it to me this morning. He said, you Ijebu people. He kept on, he repeated that on 2 occasions. You Ijebu people. So
we've already spoken about this issue. Yes.
Please do not allow Dr. Abati to talk about this issue.
Dr. Abati can add this to future comments in the next story.
What I was calling for is a peaceful selection process.
That's it.
And respect for that reverse.
That is it.
But it's something else I wanted to talk about. I think we should cease and desist from using this expression, Ghana must go. The English word for it is a jute bag.
Yes, you're right.
I don't think Ghanaians will feel very comfortable that Nigerians have defined a jute bag as Ghana must go.
Correct.
We don't want Ghana to go. Ghana is a very friendly country.
Yes, that era is
and we have very good bilateral relations with the Ghanaians.
Yes,
so please, use the word jute bag.
Jute bag.
Not Ghana
very
must
well
go.
said.
Ghana is not going anywhere.
But can I get a jute? I wonder if they'll know what I'm referring to in the markets when I ask for a jute bag. But let's go on to our next story, where the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has said that his political influence and status have grown far beyond what they were when he served as governor of Ebonyi State. Umahi made the statement while speaking at a community gathering in Ebonyi State as he was flanked by his son, 27-year-old Osborne Umahi, who is a candidate for the APC chairmanship seat for Ohazora local government area of the state. And of course, we know that his son recently secured the nomination form for 30 million naira. The video of Umahi speaking has gone viral on X.
Embrace me as one of your own. Don't listen to noisemakers. My capacity is like 10 times when I was governor. I'm very, very dangerous now. Let nobody follow me. The boss is very dangerous. You hear me, so? You hear me, so? We have the capacity to do good things for the children. Come together. Tell your sons and daughters, very illustrious and industrious, to come together. Let them approach me. Whatever is their need, they will have it done. Okay,
All right, well, this, of course, elicited a flurry of reactions. Let's go to X, where Stephen said, what the Minister of Works, David Umahi, said is highly inappropriate and concerning. Public officials are expected to serve with humility, integrity, and a sense of responsibility, not to boast about wealth in public or power. Claiming to be very dangerous and emphasizing personal and family wealth as a measure of capability sends a threatening and arrogant message to publicly and is unacceptable, which is entirely unacceptable in a public servant. Leaders should inspire trust and service to people, not intimidation or vanity. This statement deserves strong condemnation. Quickly to Triple Tweet, who said, this is the kind of talk that excites voters here. Loud confidence, raw power, and displays of personal wealth are often mistaken for competence. In our politics, bravado wins applause, while sober conversations about policy, accountability, and systems are dismissed as lamba.
Lamba means lie.
Yes.
Lamba is actually supposed to be the 11th letter of the Greek alphabet.
Yes.
But I think it's become a byword for lie.
For lie.
I think that the Minister of Works, they have been taken out of context. Because I listened to what he said, and taken out of context to the extent that he said he was speaking in jest. It was a mirthful, playful contest. He said that now, as a minister, he is dangerous. such a word does not exist in the English language. The word that exists in the English language is dangerous. So dangerous probably belongs to another type of dictionary. And then when he said it's 10 times bigger, he meant in terms of capacity and in influence. He didn't talk about cash. I didn't hear him saying he's richer now and he can do anything that is possible. And then he referred to Umahi family. That is his political family. And you could see that he was in a campaign mood. The people around him will probably be his political associates.
Including his son.
Well, I don't know whether that was his son.
That was his son there. His name is Osborne.
Okay, yeah, okay. So whether it is his son or not, but this is, political associates forum. And then he heard the youths. He called them youths. They said action. So I think in terms of the spirit and all of that, let us not overstretch it. I'm sure if he were to respond, or any of these hyperactive spokespersons, they will say it was taken out of context. So, except you want to educate me about the difference between dangerous and dangerous in Nigerian dictionary.
I want to read
just
quickly.
20 seconds for this
statement. Dr. Abati, in the spirit of saying the basic, I thought you were going to ask, how did a 27-year-old get 30 million to buy APC chairmanship form? Those were the questions I thought you were going to ask. 27-year-old. I mean, didn't you read it in the story?
Yes.
I thought, but maybe you forgot that, Dr. Abati. So how did he get 30 million naira in this hard country? Secondly, I thought we were...
In Kogi, they just for the president.
You will defend
100 million.
Dr. Abati.
No, people buy funds for people.
Umahi is your guy.
This is Nigeria.
Umahi is your guy, Dr. Abati. Umahi is your guy.
No, so you don't have any evidence to that effect. Have you ever seen me with him?
No.
Have you ever seen me with him?
But that's the question I'm asking. Because
am I from the same state?
Because when Ayo said the same for Wike, you came for Ayo and you said she has no right to say that.
I didn't say she doesn't have a right. She has a microphone that has been donated to her.
I'm not finished.
So she can say what she wants.
To our good news report now, where on January 21st, 2026, for the first time, 24 Nigerian universities appeared in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings by subject, making Nigeria the most represented country in sub-Saharan Africa in the 2026 edition. Four Nigerian universities have appeared in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings by subject, making Nigeria the most represented country in sub-Saharan Africa in the 2026 edition. The Times Higher Education subject rankings are among the most demanding global assessments of university performance. To qualify for consideration, universities must meet strict thresholds in research output and staffing. So institutions are judged on sustained academic productivity, research influence, and global engagement. Featured on the list for law are the University of Ibadan and the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. In medical and health sciences, the University of Ibadan maintained its position in the 301 to 400 band, reinforcing its status as one of Africa's most respected medical research institutions. The University of Lagos, Ahmadu Bello University, Bayero University, Kano, University of Benin, University of Jos, and UNN were also notably listed. Landmark University led in computer science, followed by Covenant University and the University of Ilorin. In physical sciences, Federal University of Technology, Mina, Landmark University, and University of Ilorin all placed highly, whilst Covenant University and the University of Ibadan ranked well in social science. I mean, I think we have to applaud our institutions. They're doing well and continue to try to raise the standard of tertiary education, a good mix of public and private institutions on that list as well.
Just to mention, Landmark and Covenant University are owned by the same Bishop the same church. So just to say that there's something they are doing right. Then that list is not complete. I did see University of Calabar. Dr. Abati.
On that note, thank you so much.
Where's the Malamite?
I'm done for what's trending today. Thank you so much. Dr. Abati, don't mind them. Don't mind them. Let's close the show.
No, it was Dr. Abati that started.